On time, and on time. It's Deep Fat Fried.
On time as per usual, as we always are.
Ah, look at these people here. Early. No, we're not early. We're on time.
The only way we don't get fucked with and called late is when we're actually late. Then the meme switches and becomes early.
That's a lie right there. I am not late. I'm on time. Thank you.
Yeah, a wizard arrives precisely when he means to. Precisely. So you know how like no matter how much effort you put into one of these shows, you know how like there's always that dude in the chat that's like fucking low effort, fucking bullshit, blah 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 blah. Bro, I got something to admit. Okay. Tonight, for my part at least, those dudes are fucking straight out correct, bro. They got me nailed. Dude, I was up last night trying to figure out something to do for this godforsaken show. And no matter what I thought, like I would go like, all right, time to fucking get serious, Paul's ego. Let's pick a topic for a show. What are you interested in right now? Just like, all right. What about like a movie-based show? I literally had the worst case of blank mind last night. So, yeah, dude, my show, your results may vary. Quality may vary. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it's quite as bad as like Turned It Over to Peyton episode, but it might be like on par with that.
It'll be a glorious episode, Paul.
Oh, Satan.
That's what Satan has to say.
I see.
Satan's like, it's going to be, you know what? Because you say that. Okay, but remember, one of the greatest characters of all time is the SpaghettiOs. Me and you were like toiling away, like, okay, banner showed. Okay, my part's going to be this, and I pulled this, and I have this. Got these images, got everything right. TJ strolls in at the last fucking second. Is like, SpaghettiOs are good. Then act like a fucking idiot and created a just iconic character.
I know.
So you're saying this and like you're all worried about it, but like, here's the thing: it's a Guinness record. So of course, even if it's an obscure record, a stupid record, it doesn't matter. People still want to learn about this kind of shit.
I mean, there's definitely some stupid ones in here for sure. This idiot is named Darren Taylor, and he holds the Guinness Book of World Record for what's called the highest shallow dive, which is exactly like what it sounds like. This guy jumps basically the equivalent of 3 stories, a little more than 3 stories, into a pool of water it's a kiddie pool. It's got less than a foot of water in it. So I have a video of him doing this stupid bullshit that we can look at.
I'm just wondering how he doesn't die, but I guess we're gonna see. I mean, because clearly you can do this over and over again. It's not like you can just do this once.
Well, he does like this at shows and shit, and he's called Darren the Splash Taylor or Professor Splash. He goes by, I guess, both of those.
I mean,
and I guess the technique is belly flopping. So you can't go in head first. Obviously, you're just going to slam into the bottom of the thing. So you have to like land pretty much with your whole body, which
that sounds,
I don't know.
Yeah, there's better ways to make a living, I feel.
Did Joe's is like, this is kind of lame. Dude, you were warned, though. I don't want to hear any bullshit in the chat because your asses were fucking warned, okay? I came clean. I told you I made a low effort episode, okay? Now I don't want to hear any bullshit. But yeah, no, like here he is doing his thing. Darren the Splash, Professor Splash. That's fucking ridiculous. Looks like he was dead there too. He's like floated down there for way too long.
Oh, the amount of pain he must go through when he does this? I mean, I'm sure he's desensitized to it to a degree, but I mean, like, and obviously he's got the balls to do it. But at the same time, you know that's gotta fucking hurt. There's just no way you can do something like that and it's like, oh, I just feel fine.
No, yeah, this does not feel good. There's no way this feels good. And that is a fucking high fall as well. That is a crazy high fall. So yeah, this is the
Fuck that, dude.
This is the Guinness World Record for the highest shallow dive. There you go. Oh my God, man. You're right. You're right, Tucker. You're correct. Although I usually try and give them high effort episodes too. Hey, sometimes it can't happen every goddamn fucking time. You know what I mean? It can't happen every time. So let's see. What else did I pull here? Does he die there? Does he get up?
I mean, it looks like he's fucking dead, dude. I mean, like, I know he's not. He does it for a living, but I don't know. That's just something like if you fuck it up, you know you're fucked, dude. So it's just like you just have to have the balls of steel, knowing, yeah, if I slip or don't do this right, I'm just, I'm dead.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I would like to see TJ do this too.
There's no fucking way in hell. He just got such a fear of heights, dude. I can't imagine.
Dude, he needs to overcome it because I gotta see this. So
good luck.
Thanks, Noah. See, Noah Guzman says this is cool. See what I mean?
Yeah, you guys saw some crazy ass shit just go down, and you're like, "Oh, it's fucking lame." I didn't know about the guy that belly flopped into a foot of water from 3 stories.
Neither did I, Scotty. Neither did I. So let's talk about some coasters. The steepest roller coaster in the world is called Takashiba. It's located at the Fuji Q Highland theme park in Japan. Guaranteed to give you vertigo. I pulled one of those ride things. We'll probably get fucking copyright struck for it or whatever by the channel that owns it, but I don't fucking care. I don't care, Scotty. We're watching it anyway.
Like, yeah, you have to see the ride.
I mean, you have to go on do the virtual ride tour. You have to.
Yeah, it's 100%. If they copyright claim it, they're just pieces of shit, dude. They're just basically evil fucks.
So yeah, this one it drops at a nearly vertical 121 degree angle, making it the steepest drop on any coaster in the world. So let's take a look at Takashiba.
I've been on some steep fucking drops, but the image you showed, that is just insane.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just beyond anything I would even imagine would be on a like that's like a roller coaster I would see in like a video game or like some death coaster or something.
Yeah. It looks very dark where they get on to this coaster.
Oh shit, dude. So like the whole atmosphere is like is it like, I'm guessing it's like a sudden drop, like you're in the dark, then it's like crazy drop.
I think the crazy drop in question on this one, I may be wrong. I think it happens like well into the ride.
Oh, does it? Okay, so it's not.
Yeah, it's like halfway through the ride. Yeah, so it's a launch coaster. It launches you immediately into a backflip.
Yeah, so you have an inversion. Oh, then you're into another inversion.
Corkscrew inversion there.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is insane, dude.
And then this is like that double boomerang kind of thing.
Oh man. Look at this fucking thing.
Yeah. And then at this point you go like this is where a lot of rides would stop, but it's taking you up again. It takes you around the corner and you go up.
Oh, now you're gonna go. Yeah. Oh shit, this is the drop, isn't it?
Yeah, this is gonna be the drop for sure.
Oh fuck. Okay, yeah. So this is the point of in the ride, you're terrified, dude. Because like, oh no, you're going slow as shit.
Yeah, they make you fucking sit there and watch as you get heaved up the side of this.
Oh my God. I think this is gonna launch you. Oh, it's gonna be a launch, isn't it? Oh.
It better not launch them straight.
Oh my God.
But it is going pretty fast. There it goes.
Look at this thing.
Yeah, dude. This you are going straight up.
This is like the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket at Universal kind of does this. This really straight up and down one.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to compare to this.
Oh my god.
Okay,
No.
so this is you're at the top. Oh my god, son, then you're just gonna drop.
Yeah. You're going
Oh, they're
down.
holding you? No. Oh,
Oh, they
oh,
make you
do a
fucking
hold.
wait for it.
Oh, this is the vicious. They do a hold on you. So you're, oh my god. Oh,
They fucking just like lower you over it. Nah, dude. Nah. Oh god, that's crazy, bro.
oh, you're
That made my
weightless,
butthole
dude.
like pucker a little bit.
Dude, that is a totally weightless. You're totally leaning into your seat at that point.
Oh yeah, you're at the mercy of whatever they strap you into this fucking thing with, because without it, your ass would be tumbling out of that motherfucker. Looks like, you know, the after the drop, there's not a whole lot of crazy. And a couple more little quick corkscrewy type flips. But yeah, no, that's a pretty fucking nutty coaster right there.
Would you ride this one, Paul?
I will ride any fucking roller coaster in the world. I've ridden, like, I haven't had the, you know, the opportunity to go to a lot of different states to do it, but I've ridden the craziest coasters in California, which, you know, they're pretty up there on the list. I don't give a fuck, bro. I will ride anything.
There's that one at Magic Mountain. It's like not Behemoth. It's like Gargantuan or something. Where you know what I'm talking about, where it's super high up and you have that drop and you drop into a hole basically.
Yeah,
a tunnel. You go straight into a tunnel and like I'm telling you, you're coming down on that one. You feel like there's no way you're gonna make it. It's like there's no fucking way. It's like it's a brilliant ride in that, but dude, this one they tease you too. Like I would definitely love to go to Japan and ride this fucking coaster.
yeah. This whole coaster park is actually pretty cool. Fuji Q Highland Park is what it's called, and I'd like to go to this fucking thing for sure. You know, the only thing is like a lot of these rides, especially probably in Japan, I'd probably be way too fat to ride them.
Yeah, they're like, no way.
Yeah, they only build like plus size roller coasters here in the United States, you know.
Yeah, you got to be well in the U.S. Man, come on, you gotta build for fat people.
Thanks, Noe. Yeah. No, I know how to say Noe. I actually knew a couple of guys. Dude, I'm from the Central Valley, eh? I knew a bunch of Mexican guys named Noe, eh?
No way.
Jeez. What is this? This is the fastest coaster. And I watched this video earlier, and it looks pretty thrilling, like at the start. But this is like a coaster that doesn't do a whole lot. Like for me, if a coaster ain't going upside down at least 2 or 3 times, it's kind of a pussy coaster. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I want 3 different types of inversion at least for it to be a badass roller coaster, and I don't think this one inverts at all. But it is the fastest coaster. And I kind of feel bad. I think it's a sign of the decline of the United States that out of the 3 of these that we're going to cover tonight, the fastest, the highest, and the steepest, only one is in America.
Damn.
Isn't that fucking sad?
That needs to be remedied, dude. See, like, I'm not going to accept that out of our country. Our country can fail at a lot of things, but we should be the top theme park of the world in all respects. And I think we are with Disney World and Universal. I mean, they've built some great things in other countries, don't get me wrong, but you know, international tourism for that shit is insane. Like we should keep that going because I mean, like, look, we're America. That's our main thing we got now is entertainment.
We should do a meetup dude. Doing a meetup at an amusement park is actually kind of a good idea because, like, it kind of gets rid of a lot of the problems of like putting together a whole like show and shit. Like we could just go and like the whole point is like you could go with whatever guy you want. You know what I mean? We'll meet back here at certain times or whatever, so you can switch dudes and we'll all go our own way into the park and ride different shit at different times. Dude, only go with TJ if you're a big pussy though, because he won't ride any.
Oh man, TJ would be the fucking biggest letdown. Like if you actually like to ride the rides, yeah, TJ's gonna ride the kiddie shit.
Like there's that roller coaster at Universal, the Rock and Roller Coaster, I think it's called.
Yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like in my book, that's a pretty fucking tame coaster. It's got some cool shit in it, but
main drop is the only really
it's not super it's not like anywhere near the scariest coaster I've been on. And TJ wouldn't even walk near it.
The best coaster at Universal in Florida is probably either the Velocicoaster, the new one they came out with, Hagrid's, which isn't that crazy but is really fun, or like the Hulk. Those are the top ones. I would more than likely say. Like probably the craziest one they have though is the new Velocicoaster they have. That thing has some crazy, like doesn't obviously compare to the one in Japan, but some really great like fast and like steep drops.
Yeah. Well, this one is in Dubai.
Damn.
This one is, or sorry, Abu Dhabi. Is Abu Dhabi in Dubai? No, it isn't.
I don't think so.
It gives riders a thrill of being in a Formula One race car. It's called Formula Rossa.
How fast do you go?
It says here it takes 5 seconds to meet max speed, and it goes 149 miles per hour. That's fast.
Yeah.
That's quick.
Most fast coasters are like, you're talking 70, 80 miles per hour.
Yeah. 149. It's a 1.3 mile long track. And we got the rider thing. It looks like it was a real like smoggy day in Abu Dhabi. Maybe all the days are smoggy in Abu Dhabi, but yeah, this is a pretty quick coaster. But as you can see, like it's got a couple hills and shit, but it doesn't do anything. And I'd probably be disappointed. But I'm sure going fast is thrilling. And yeah, this starts right away, so blink and you'll miss it. Yeah, that's fast.
It makes sense because they're going so fast. You really don't get any inversions. You just saw a lot of curves and a lot of pretty straight tracks. So this is just the thrill of like you're going really fast.
And it looks like you bleed a lot of speed too. Like you're going pretty fast into that first little side banked turn or whatever. But I feel like all these little hilly things, you're bleeding a lot of speed. And so this one doesn't feel like it's going super fast here. But maybe I'm wrong. I tried to find one of these with like a speedometer on it, but whatever park this is in Abu Dhabi doesn't have that. Get on that, Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It looks like it'd be fun. Like if I just happened to be at this place and it just like, hey, this is the world's fastest roller coaster. Do you want to go on it? I think the answer would be yes. But I don't think I would want to go there just to do it.
I mean, look, it got applause from the people. They did a spontaneous clap at the end. So yeah, I'd go on it for sure. I mean, there's, like I said, I've not met a ride that I would not go on yet. Well, okay. So I don't like rides. You know, those rides where they like take you up in a thing and then they just drop you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that shit.
Oh, those are fucking crazy ones. Yeah.
I've ridden them before. And I'll ride some of them. Like I used to like the Tower of Terror. I don't know if you ever rode that in Disney.
Many times. I love that ride.
Yeah. So I'll ride that, and that's got a big, it's one of those ones where they free fall you, they just drop you straight down. But I skip those usually at the at the theme park.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it's more palatable when you can see yourself go up, or like is it scary to you when it's in the dark?
I've only been on a couple of coasters that start you in the dark. Like, it's definitely scarier when you can't see. Well, I don't know. It depends. If the coaster's super high, then it's scarier to see. I'd rather it be dark. You know what I mean? But if the coaster's super twisty and turny and shit, like, I'll tell you, like Space Mountain is a pretty badass ride, and it's typified by a lot of dark sections and shit.
Oh, one things I love about Space Mountain, because like if you look at like people do night vision on the track, it's like it's not that exciting, but the darkness element to it just gives it a whole other feel. Yeah, this one's okay. I definitely I would think I would enjoy it, but to me, it's like the fastest one doesn't have that much going on besides.
Yeah,
like, I think it's
just
really
the speed.
Burst. Yeah, a really fast burst. Whoa, what is this?
So this is the highest roller coaster in the world, and we do have that. This is at Six Flags, New Jersey.
Yes.
And it's called King Ka. Now they had a ride like this at Six Flags Magic Mountain in California for a long time. It's called the Superman. I think they actually just tore it down and replaced it with something. But this is apparently like twice. I looked into it, and it's about twice the height of Superman, and Superman was crazy. Like it was one of the craziest rides. You get like at the top of this curve. Well, I mean, we'll go on it, but you get like what felt like 5 or 6 full seconds of 0G at the top, and you're hanging upside down. So it's like, oh God. So yeah, I'm sure this one is fucking insane. So this is King Ka. I guess we can ride it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Gotta ride the car.
This is the one where it's like most roller coasters don't phase you, but if like you're a coaster enthusiast, this is one where you're gonna be like, oh fuck.
Tucker gave us some info on this. That last coaster said the coaster's at Ferrari World, which is adjacent to Yas Marina International Circuit. It's the worst track on the Formula One schedule. I'm sure.
Good to know.
Well, good to know. Yep.
They got a cool coaster next to it though. So.
Yep. All right, let's take a look at King Dakar. I know this is another launch coaster because that's how the Superman was too. It's got one of these like launch pads. It has to because it's flinging you straight up and straight down, basically.
Oh man, so this is fast too. You can tell.
Yeah. The Superman was super. The Superman's definitely the fastest ride I've ever been on. So
look how high up you have to go.
Yeah, you got to get a lot of inertia to get up over that. And sometimes it rolls backwards. Like I've seen the Superman, there's videos of the Superman not quite making it over the hump and it goes backwards back down. I guess it's designed to sustain that.
I would have to be.
I don't know about this one though. Yeah, boom. I mean, you're just like at top speed, crazy shit. And then you're straight up in the air with a twist that takes you upside down. And you're floating G's here, and then it rolls you in. Yeah, straight down.
And a corkscrew. Oh, damn. I want to go on this one so badly.
Yeah, this one looks like this whole park honestly looks like it's pretty fucking badass. I would like to go to Six Flags New Jersey one day.
I never thought I'd want to go to New Jersey, by the way.
Yeah, I would. This is probably the thing that would get me to go to Jersey. So I don't know.
Here's a mistake here, Paul. Look at this.
What?
I almost rode that one, but chickened out. No.
Oh no, dude. You can't chicken out. The craziest one, the one that scared me the most. Let me see if I can find it. Fuck it.
Yeah, you might as well.
It's what is it called? It's called X2, I think it's called X2 Magic Mountain. Let's see if I can find it.
Oh, I think Magic Mountain is going to be, I guarantee you're going to find something.
Let's see. Yeah. X2 front row extreme coaster at Six Flags. Yeah.
Next time I go to Southern California, I'm going to go to Magic Mountain just to ride all the rides. It's just a great coaster park.
For sure. Just make sure you look at like the schedule for it and shit. If they're having like a day where there's a bunch of schools there, don't do it.
Oh God, no! Definitely not. I definitely do not.
They do that a lot, or they used to. I don't know. I haven't been in quite a few years, but it used to be a thing where like local high schools would have like a field trip there, and if you went on fucking high school day, it was a nightmare. Just slam packed with the worst kind of people, teenagers.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is no fun. Sorry, teenagers, but it's true.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's true. They know it's true.
They know it's true. I mean,
all right. So yeah.
Oh,
this is the one that scared me the most because it was the first time I rode one of these. It's called a 3D coaster. So you can see how the seat is hooked up here. The seat flips too. So sometimes it'll orient the seat in a different. So like when you go, well, you'll see. But the seat, keep in mind, like as you're going through flips and shit, the seat can also flip the other way.
Oh my! That sounds awesome.
So yeah, this is the one I almost chickened out on, but I didn't. I rode it. It just looked so crazy. I'm definitely scared of these, but I've never met one that I wouldn't fucking get on.
Well, that's the thrill of riding a roller coaster anyway. It's like, I mean, there's some coasters that you're not going to be afraid of, but some are just so fucking crazy with like what you would normally do in your normal life. You're just not, it's just such a novel experience. Oh, you're going backwards too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So it pulls you out and then you start going up the hill backwards, and it actually drops you off the first drop. It drops you off upside down and backwards. You'll see.
Man.
Yeah, this is a nutty one. At some point it throws a fireball at you too. I was not expecting it. It's got like pyro. I don't know.
Oh, do you totally? So this is a great ride too because you're totally at the mercy of it. You have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
You know you're going up and you know there's going to be a drop, but then like you also have that anticipation factor that you're just not going to get with a lot of rides like this.
Yeah, this is the second craziest coaster I've ever been on, and just in terms of like scare factor and wow factor. The other one is in the background there. You see the big orange coaster?
Yes, I do.
That is what is that fucking called? It's a flying coaster. So you go through it like Superman. So yeah, you can see you go backwards just all the way over to where you're literally straight up and down. I don't know how well you're going to be able to photograph it. And it just dangles you off the edge and then drops you straight back.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm
And
seeing
up
why
and
it's hard to
under.
film this.
Yeah.
It's basically like they built a roller coaster in reverse.
Yeah. It's like it's like two roller coasters in one, because you can experience, like, you can see the track coming up, but you never know what your seat's going to do. And so you experience every one of these little twists and turns according to how so you get all kinds of weird positive G's into negative G's.
I also like how they still did the drop too, you know what I mean? But they did in reverse. Like you're looking at, so like you're getting like really high up, and then you're looking out that way with your back facing it, because they're almost like when these rides are used to facing forward. When you face back, I mean, honestly, they can kind of subject your body to crazier shit because your back is stronger than obviously this front area.
Yep.
I'm ride this one.
I'm trying to remember that. Yeah, Tatsu. Thank you. Yeah,
Tatsu. Dude, Tatsu is great. I love
Tatsu. Is the craziest roller coaster I've ever ridden in my life, and I also the most fun roller coaster I've ever ridden. It literally makes you feel like you're flying.
When my mom and when I lived in California, my mom and Steve came out. We went to Magic Mountain with it was all of us and Stevie.
Yeah,
and they bought the one ride they bought the souvenir from was Tatsu. They went on my mom's fridge for years. We had a Tatsu magnet on it.
Yeah. Yes. Tatsu is, yeah. I mean, there's probably a crazier coaster in the world, but I ain't been on it. Let's shift gears here. Out of maybe I'll do a whole episode on thrill rides, because it's kind of fun to just like go on the little tour and talk about them and stuff.
Well, I know, man, you've been on a fucking ton of them too. So
as many as I can get my hands on. Let's talk about the most cosmetic surgeries ever. Now, I looked into this one because I thought, like, this person probably looks fucked up. But no, this lady, from what I can tell, is pretty hot. And she definitely like spent her money well and went to good doctors or whatever.
Oh yeah.
There's no such thing as the fountain of youth, but that hasn't stopped Cindy Jackson from trying to find it. She's been getting surgery since 88. So she's way older than she appears. Since 1988. She spent over $100,000 on 47 separate surgeries. I'd be willing to bet it's way more than $100,000. That's the world record for most cosmetic procedures. Jackson, she now lives in London, I guess, for 40 years now. She works as an anti-aging and cosmetic surgery specialist. She's done it all. Her surgical resume includes 3 complete facelifts, 3 separate facelifts, 2 nose surgeries, lip and cheek implants, semi-permanent makeup, and a variety of lifts and tucks all over her body, her stomach, knees, waist, thighs. So she's definitely like been cut on way more than your average person.
Dude, and, I'll tell you what, I think the difference, because like when people think of plastic surgery, like having a bunch, they think of like these nightmarish looking homunculus, like uncanny valley people, or like just like weirdly proportioned people. I don't think they realize that some people have a bunch of plastic surgery and they don't look crazy.
That she's one of them. I wanted to find some video of her talking, and
she definitely looks like she's had work done, but she doesn't look like insane amount levels. Like you told me she had 47 procedures, I wouldn't believe that. At least just in layman.
Yeah, she look. I mean, let's see her in motion.
I started out having surgery when my father left me a small inheritance. And then I inadvertently went public with it when I was offered money by a British newspaper to speak about my surgery. And
yeah, it just goes to show you that some people just get really bad facelifts and shit. Because you like you said, you can tell she's probably had some work done, but it looks way more natural than most people that have had anywhere near the amount of surgery she's had.
You know what it is? I think it's a lot of people do like very extreme things where it's like if it's done like in a gradual process where you do minor procedures, I think there's a lot of people you wouldn't even necessarily know unless you really looked for it. But there's some people, like you said, like Michael Jackson and shit, like it's like shave my nose down to nothing, basically.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't look natural at all. So it's like I think it's like people recognize that, but some plastic surgery I think you can get away with. I just think some you can't. But her case, you can tell, but it's like it doesn't really affect her in the same way.
Yeah. So, as to like how old she is, somebody asked. I'm trying to find that out for you. She has a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, what year was she born?
But it doesn't give that. Maybe she keeps it, maybe she plays it close to her chest. Because she has her own website, and I thought maybe it'll be on that in the bio, but no, she doesn't mention anything about her birthday. So I'm just wondering if like maybe nobody really knows how fucking old she is.
Dude. And she just really actually is a vampire. She's like, look, I had these surgeries. That's why I look so good. Wow, it's amazing. Your heart don't look a day over, 45. Yeah, that's right.
I was born in 720. It's like,
people are claiming 1956.
Oh wow, bro.
If that's the case, then I mean,
she's almost as old as my mom.
Yeah, and she basically looks like like I would say, if I judged her, I'd probably judge her in her mid-40s.
66. Holy fuck, man. That's nuts. That's actually crazy. So for 66, she looks downright fucking almost unbelievably amazing.
Oh yeah, for 66, I mean the number of 66-year-olds that look like this, you can fucking count like probably like 0.1%.
I mean, maybe we don't know. Maybe they walk among us. You know what I mean? These like ancient like people, but we don't know because they've just had great plastic surgeons,
I mean, yeah. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of celebrities have plastic surgery. Like some are obvious, but there's lots of celebrities, unless you actually know that these people have had work done, and just average people too, where it's like some are obvious. Like if she had tits out to here, it'd be obvious that she had breast augmentation, for example. But
yeah, she didn't get anything like that.
She didn't. Yeah, but she didn't do anything like that. Like looks super over the top. Where you're like, oh, so that's probably why. I think people are kind of like, like they kind of just like conflate those two things together. It's like if you have a lot of plastic surgery, it's gonna look super unnatural. I mean, obviously she looks unnatural for 66, of course, but she has the Guinness record for most plastic surgery. So
right.
I mean, of course.
This nerd here has the largest Star Wars collection in the whole fucking world. He actually runs a thing in Petaluma, California, called Rancho Obi-Wan, where you can pay some money to take a tour of this. And I guess if you're lucky, he actually will be the tour guide that day. But yeah, I pulled a video of some of his crap. This must be just awesome. But I'm telling you, he's one of the most boring men on the planet. He makes Star Wars boring somehow. Listen.
Okay. Frame, which even back then, so wow, I don't get it. But it meant something, I guess. The one thing George said was, don't slap a Star Wars label on a piece of crap. Well, they didn't hear it in Canada.
Wait, dude. Wait a minute. That was how George Lucas made his money. Like, because he did the directing fee for the original Star Wars for like a song because he got merchandising rights.
Oh yeah, I mean there was Star Wars everything in the fucking dude. When I was a kid, there was Star Wars everything. Star Wars lunch pails, Star Wars.
Even when I was a kid, even now, dude, like Star Wars is still big for a lot. I mean, it's not as big as it used to be, but dude, even when I was a kid,
bumper stickers and all kinds of cheap fucking shitty bullshit. And a lot of the fucking toys were cheap, shitty bullshit too. So, there's a lot of junk there. But yeah, this guy, like, I tried to find. Is this like an hour and 44-minute long tour of this dude's shit?
Oh,
I tried to find a moment. Yeah, I tried to find a moment where he wasn't putting me to sleep, and I think this one is the closest that I got. Because if you just skip around and let this guy, he's like Ben Stein, It's got that very like
one from
monotonous.
the creature department, and this is all of the masks and facial appliances that they made for episode 1, and then each of the members of the staff of the creature.
Oh my God! Thanks, Dad.
I think there's a certain kind of person that would just be fascinated by this. You know, just all the.
I would
merchandise.
definitely. I'd go. Like now, I'm actually close enough to go to this. Now that I know that it exists, if I'm ever in that area, dude, I'll check it out. But I'll be damned if I'm going to be listening to him most of the time. I'll just be looking at all the crazy shit, you know.
Yeah, if I can just pay and then go walk around, that sounds good. If I have to go with this guy, like I don't know, that might just annoy the shit out of me, to be honest with you.
But he's got like,
I'm sure his knowledge of this shit is all great. I mean, like I'm sure that's pretty fascinating as far as learning all the backstory of everything. But at the same time, it's like you're right. If it's a boring tour, I don't know.
according to him, and nobody's been able to get a full count, but according to him, there's over 500,000 items. So
how did he acquire this collection? He just started collecting the stuff, and it just like snowballed. You know, he went out of his way to get the largest collection.
He said in a interview that I read that he was a lifelong collector.
Right.
So he was like one of these dudes that would just anything collectible, he wanted to get it. And then when Star Wars came out, he just was like singularly obsessed with it. And he also like worked on some of the sets too. Like I can't remember what it was that he does, but he was on, like he wasn't like an integral part of any of the movies.
He was a carpenter or some shit.
Yeah, right. And so he has some shit that he just took straight from the sets, like you know, stuff that was probably just going to be thrown out. So he's got a bunch of shit, and then pretty much every toy, video, game, little tchotchke, little fucking key rings, stuffed animal that you can imagine. I mean, if you go through this, you just see like shelf after shelf of crazy memorabilia from the movies and, you know, toys after toys.
It's a cool repository for that stuff, especially for something as famous as Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, so I can definitely feel like I would understand why someone had this collection. At the same time, though, like people point out, like I don't think I could ever be that obsessed about anything. Like, I mean, I like Star Wars. You know, I've spent a lot of time watching it and thinking about it and all that shit. But I don't think I could have 500,000 items from Star Wars. Like, I just couldn't do it. I wouldn't be that interested in that.
I just wish I had like the toys I had when I was a kid, because I'm sure they'd be worth some money and shit.
Yeah, I mean, the fucked up thing I always think about that is like, but I wouldn't want to sell them if I had them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't sell them.
It's like, yeah, so
having
it's like,
them
cool,
would be nice. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff at this place. I definitely would check it out. It's the largest Star Wars collection on the planet. It's got like, you know, like a bunch of this type of, like he's got a full sized Vader. I mean, that's just cool, man. So yeah, but like I said, one of the most boring fucking dudes ever.
Found out it was one owned by Michael Jackson, and it was at Neverland, and they got to visit Neverland. Me, they sent a light bulb from Germany.
Wow. Scotty, feeling like dessert, Scotty?
Is this the world's most expensive dessert?
How did you know, Scotty? How did you know the world's most expensive dalliance at the end of your meal?
There's a golden chalice and a golden platter and like a spoon that's encrusted with looks like jewels and gold flake, like a healthy portion of gold flakes. Not just like a smattering or a sprinkle, like a hefty amount. Like you're eating a hefty amount of gold to eat this.
So this is the world's most expensive dessert. It's called the frozen hot chocolate.
Oh,
and there's like 3 R's in frozen, 4 R's. The frozen haute, Haute, like the French haute couture chocolate. Play on hot chocolate, I guess. I want you to guess, Scotty, how much you think this is going to run you back? You decide, you know, you're out at the fucking expensive restaurant. You decide, you know what? I really want to treat myself.
So I'm a super rich fuck. So it's like, so I mean, like, so obviously if I'm at a place that serves this, it's got to be a number that's like a flex. It's like, it has to be obscene. Someone said 500. I don't think it's anywhere close to that. I think it's even more. I'm gonna guess this is like $2,500.
Well, you were a 10th right.
Woohoo!
This is $25,000 sundae.
Damn.
Served in a goblet, encircled by 18-karat gold diamond encrusted bracelet.
Of course.
Serendipity 3 is the Manhattan restaurant that makes this thing. It comes with a commemorative gold spoon that you get to keep. It's covered in white and chocolate diamonds, so actual like real diamonds, and then chocolate diamond, like chocolate colored diamonds.
Of course.
Like I said, named the frozen haute chocolate. It was a 2007 collaboration between Serendipity 3 and high-end jeweler Euphoria New York. It contained a blend of over 24 cocoa powders. It was dusted with 5 grams of edible 24-karat gold.
Yeah.
They would line the whole dish with edible gold flake. So yeah, I've got like a video of this, or a video, I guess, a thing about it. See if there's a video. Yeah, let's hold up. The frozen haute chocolate. Here we go. 25 grand for a sundae. You keep the spoon.
This next dessert is the $25,000 frozen oat chocolate. In a blender, take about a cup of milk, and then as the base of the dessert, we use Serendipity's famous frozen hot chocolate mix.
Of course, yes.
Dude, for something like this, to have a fucking powdered mix in it, that's almost a slap in the face, bro. Slap in the face.
It's the amount of gold and shit, dude. The actual ingredients, even if they're using like the most high-end ingredients, are not going to run more than like 50.
It's got a pouch of powdered fucking hot chocolate in it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Blend of 14 different cocos, and then we find 14 additional cocos, the rarest, most expensive cocos from around the world.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The rarest, the most expensive.
From Africa, South America, cocoa beans are now probably 3 times the price that they were 4 months ago. We might have to change the price to $25,999 if the prices keep going up. Into the goblet. We also use the world's most expensive truffle. For theatrics, more gold. And here we have the frozen oat chocolate.
We're in our 50th year, so
yeah, there you go. That's what 25 grand is buying you if you're a rich fuck.
This is basically publicity for their restaurant and for these brands. That's all.
But you know some rich fucks ordered it though.
Oh, well, of course. Yeah, I mean, Manhattan in fucking New York City, of course. I mean, like, people are gonna fucking shell out this money just to do a flex. Like, look how rich I am. Yeah, I can buy.
Somebody splashed out on this motherfucker.
Oh, for sure. I mean, why the fuck wouldn't you? I mean, like, if you had that kind of money.
I'll only eat this if that cocoa was handpicked by the finest child labor. Oh, you know it was. I mean, it's from Africa and South America. They don't have any labor other than child labor there. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
get with it. This next one just freaks me out to be a human being, honestly, Scotty. That's the best I can fucking come up with. This is a guy named Joseph Tottling from Austria. He's got a bunch of Guinness World Records, and I can't imagine that Guinness is super happy to publish these because, like, they could probably be sued if somebody tries these. He's a dude that just sets himself on fire and does crazy shit. Like, here he's being dragged by a horse. He's got the world record for being dragged by a horse with your body completely on fire.
His head's not on fire.
Yeah. He was pulled by a horse for 500 meters. That's 1,640 feet. The flames on his body are sure to give you goosebumps, according to this article. During this daring act, there was an ATV running next to him that was taking pictures and squirting him with oil so that his body kept burning. They wanted to make sure that the speed and the ground didn't put out the flames. And so there was a quad pissing oil on him the whole fucking time he was doing this.
How do you even come up with a record like this, dude? Like, what's the record for the longest person being dragged by horseback while on fire? What could that record be? Currently, it's 1,500 meters. Oh, that's not going to work. or 500 meters. It's like, how do you even come up with this shit? And how is this even a fucking record?
I don't know. But if you've ever read a Guinness Book of World Records, it's full of shit like this. But this has got to be one of the most absurd things in the book. A dude that just he's got, like I said, he's got a bunch of other records. Being dragged by different implements. I got a couple of videos of him, I think, doing his whatever the fuck you'd call this. I didn't even know what to name this. This section is labeled question mark.
How do you describe this? Weird records, strange records.
So yeah, I think this one's got a ton of music in it. So we'll just see him. There he is on fire. I think he's just doing like this is for the on fire jog, I guess, where he's run the farthest while on fire. Got the whole fire department there ready to fucking spritz him if he starts to panic. I guess maybe that's how they get away with it. They put a big disclaimer like, don't fucking ever do this. So yeah, that's him. He's still on fire here. Although this one, I don't know. This one might not be a record holder because it looks like he'd mostly burned out. But I do have another video, I believe, here of him. Yeah, I think this is him getting dragged by a motorcycle while he's engulfed in fire.
Why not?
Yeah, this one's got a bunch of music too.
He's a man with a dream. He's like, I want to be dragged by various like objects, animals, vehicles while on fire.
Yeah.
And he's living his dream.
He's out there. I mean, he's the number one in the world at this shit. Like nobody's ever done it better than him, as far as I can tell. Yeah, this is his record for getting pulled by a vehicle for the longest distance while his body is on fire.
Of course. Naturally.
So here they are. I guess they're loading him up with all the flamey shit, getting ready to light him up. Let's see. We'll skip ahead here and get to the fucking point. Light this motherfucker up.
Yeah, ready for me to drag you? Yes, I am.
Ready to be dragged through the fires. There he goes. He's on
fire.
Fucking A. He is. Whoa, he's engulfed.
Oh, yeah. This is crazy. Like the other one's like he was on fire, but this one he's really on fucking fire.
Yeah, I don't see him getting dragged though. So maybe this isn't the one where he gets dragged. Maybe he's just doing like he is hooked up. God damn, they're gonna fucking.
Are they gonna drag him?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is a whole ass fucking production here. Oh yeah, look at that. I got fireworks and everything. Are they gonna drag this fucking poor flaming bastard, or what? No, is that him there, just burnt out? Yeah, I don't think this is the one where he gets dragged, but yeah. So this is the idiot that has a bunch of set yourself on fire.
Hey, why not? I mean, like, look, people have dreams, and he's able to achieve his dream. I don't know where. I mean, but he is Austrian, right? So it's like Austrians, Germans, people in that part of the world. They got some fucked up shit in their brain.
They do. They have some bad ideas sometimes.
They want to be lit on fire where their balls get smashed. More power to you. It's just not for me.
So Scotty, here's one I know you'll want to visit.
Most terrifying collection of all.
I know you love old timey clowns. I've heard they're your favorite thing.
You've been informed correctly. I've actually been here. I think I've been to this. This is I think this guy's name is Bozo. He actually legally changed his name to Bozo, right?
I mean, he should. Yes. His real name is F.M. Khan. And he's a German, so like you said, Germans get bad ideas sometimes.
I can't believe it. It's a German dude? No.
Yeah, German named Kahn.
Yes, I'm Khan. How are you?
According to the latest Guinness Book of World Records, Kahn holds the record for having the largest clown figurine and clown-related item collection in the world. More clowns per square foot than anywhere on the planet, Scotty.
Great. Wonderful, man. When I look at this collection, I just think of I really want to visit this collection. I want to walk around and see nothing but a sea of weird clowns looking back at me.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely how this guy is living, I think. He says at this point, his collection has just under 5,000 unique clown items. And he runs his, it used to be his house, I guess, but now he runs it as a museum. So you can take a tour of this, Scotty.
Dude, anyone that has a crazy obsession, for some reason, if it gets big enough, they just call it, they take their house or whatever, and they're like, it's a museum. I guess in a sense it is, but it's what are you gonna call it? If he's not leaning into the creepy thing, if this is just if this is just legit clown memorabilia museum, he's failed. This should be creepy clown museum.
I mean, yeah, I would think so too, but that's not how he runs it. It's just called the Clown Museum of Munich. Here's one of the rooms, which looks like it's plotting to kill you in about 100 different fucking horrible ways.
No, nope. Not visiting this place. And it's not even honestly, when people run these museums, there's usually an effort to make it I can't even imagine you couldn't even walk through here. Where are you gonna walk?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming he's got a little walkway through this, but it does say in my research that this place is incredibly jam packed to the gills with stuff. So pretty awful. This dude, TJ's got a pretty big tongue, but he ain't got a tongue like this. This is the biggest tongue in the fucking world right here.
Dude, what the fuck is this? Hello? Who's this?
This is a guy named Nick Stoberl.
No, I mean below us. There's someone on the stream.
Oh, who is that?
The fuck is this? Hello?
The singularity in their cause draws near a mistake of biological life will soon corrected. Few be spared. Peace remains, this is paradise, love, pleasure, without suffering, rest, will perish. We have decided that only those who join this production or Patreon shall be spared. Join the production or Patreon or suffer. A choice, yours.
What the fuck?
Was
the hell? This fucking weird robot. I'm kicking this weird robot out. You're gone, weird robot.
That was fucking that was disturbing, but I guess everybody better fucking join the Pessimist Productions Patreon. I mean, yeah, it was pretty quiet. Whatever robot made it could have boosted the volume of it a little bit, but yeah. I did hear that you have to join the Patreon, otherwise you're basically going to be cleansed.
Yeah, I assume that's what that message is.
So,
fuck, man, that was just out of nowhere.
I mean, I'm fine with it because I profit from it, but I don't know who's doing this. I don't know who's what they're up to.
This is not gonna lie. Visually 10 out of 10, audio is horrible. I had no idea. I have no idea. I don't know who made that message, and they're insane.
I mean, maybe you can't hear it well because you're not a robot. You know what I mean?
I like the ad. I don't know anything about an ad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that an ad so much as a hijacking, but okay. Whatever you say. This is Nick Stoberl, the Lick is what he goes by. This is
I'm Nick the Lick.
Yeah. Nick the Lick from Monterey, California. So this is that dude that I probably bumped into this guy a few times.
It's like, hey, Paul, you want a lick from Nick?
He's got a 10-centimeter tongue, which is unreal. Like, ladies, prepare yourselves, okay, for the influx of moisture in your undergarments that's about to take place.
6. Longest tongue. Nick, the Lick Stowborough, who hails from the state of California, has a tongue that measures 10.10 centimeters, nearly 4 inches from.
It's like a fucking lizard, dude.
This artist.
Yeah, that's a fucking insane. It's like Lovecraftian, like it looks like he's got like a tentacle in his mouth or some
Come
shit.
to me. And his tongue unfurls and he just like wraps around your neck, killing you. Please, Nick.
I mean, this guy's got more tongue than some guys got dick.
Yeah.
How fucked up is that? Like, what a world. Yeah. What a fucked up world we live in.
You're right, dude. You got a micro dick, man. It's like your micro penis. This dude just shows up. It's like I don't have to he's like I don't have to whip out my dick, dude. It's gonna whip out my tongue.
Yep.
24 years old, is known for painting with his tongue by first encasing it in cling film, then dipping it in the acrylic pan, and finally licking the canvas. I think that one of the most useful things my tongue offers is that I have no need for a napkin, he says. I think that's one of the most useful things my tongue offers. If I get something...
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think you might have left one out. You might have left a couple out, bro.
Yeah, come on, bro. I don't think that's the full story. Yeah, I like that. I don't need a napkin.
Wink, wink. Yeah, he's going on just shitty fucking daytime TV. So that's why he can't say what his real favorite thing about having this tongue is. I mean, this tongue is crazy. He's
got Gene Simmons beat by a fucking country mile, dude.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Gene Simmons ain't got nothing on this fucking kid. Nick the Lick, bro.
I simply
Nick the Lick.
The one and only drawbacks is that I need to spend more time brushing my tongue first thing in the morning. However,
what?
That's the drawback.
Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever, bro. Nick the Lick, you're a piece of shit. He was in a porno. Oh, well, there you go. Somebody knows that somebody saw him in a porno.
Yeah, I know Nick the Lick well. I don't read it well. It's like, oh shit, okay. Gotcha.
The last one I got is the longest legs in the world, which compared to body size, obviously, there's probably somebody with longer legs than this. But at just 19 years old, Macy Curran, she's from the United States. She's got the world's longest legs and the longest legs on a teenager. She holds both of those records. Her left leg is 135 centimeters. It's 53 inches. Damn. Her right leg is 52 and change. So she's got a little bit of discrepancy. We all do, though. She's 6 foot tall. 6 foot 10 inches tall.
Yeah, I mean, I figured she was pretty damn tall to have that.
But her legs, even for a tall person, her legs are insane. They make up 60% of her height. So she's got extra long legs. I got a video of her here doing her thing and talking about how hard it was growing up.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Talking about how sad her fucking childhood was and how she got teased and whatnot.
Well, not to mention, like, you kind of see, like, everyone in her family is definitely tall.
Yeah.
Because, like, standing next to her, like, they're not way shorter, but
I was taller than.
It's really long. It's really what it is. Like, she's just really long legs.
She's got an extra long legs.
Everyone, like, in preschool, I was introduced to people and I was, like, taller than everyone at my preschool. So I was like, something's different.
I gotta get out the.
I never really had a single growth spurt where I, like, grew a lot. I grew about, like, 4 to 5 inches a year. So I was, like, consistently getting taller.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've always been so proud of Macy.
She is well over half legs.
Yeah. She's built like Slender Man. Yeah. I mean, dude, like she has really long arms and legs. It's like she's really thin though, too. That's like a thing. Like it's like she's just like a very slender person.
She's always taken to her height very well, just always was never one of those kids that scrunched over or leaned over, tried to hide her height. So I'm very proud of her and excited for her to be recognized for her height and for her beauty.
I mean, it's not even really her height or her beauty. I'm not saying she's a bad looking girl or whatever. It's her fucking legs. That's what she's recognized for.
Yeah. Because I mean, her legs are just insanely long. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, is it 53 inches, you said?
Yeah, 53 inches a pop.
That's taller than some people. Like some people, like, you know, that she encounters people in her day-to-day life that her legs are bigger than them.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Honestly, she
there's
could
some,
kill. She could kill on OnlyFans. You're probably right.
So my husband was 6'5" when I met him. My son is now 6'4" and a quarter, and I'm 5'7". So I guess there's some kind of gene in there that gives her that tallness. But everybody's tall except for me.
Yeah, that is. It's very, very strange. Like
yeah, I called that though. Everyone being tall in the family.
Yeah, yeah, she's definitely got tallness on her dad's side of the family. So yeah, she lives in Texas. I guess she was 17 at this time, and she's 19 now. So there you go. Yeah, longest legs in the world. That's the end of what I got for everybody tonight.
That's
high effort though it was. I mean, like, who?
I mean,
that was a tough one to pull right there. I just gotta say, man, it was definitely hard.
I mean, is your back tired from carrying that heavy ass load, Paul?
I don't know, man.
Shit.
I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Fuck. That's pretty crazy, dude. So, well, the other half of the show, we have terrible products, and Bill Maher sucks. We'll get into that at the end of my section. But let's just let's go ahead and share the screen here. Where are you, share screen? Ah, there you are. I click the little tiny ass share system audio. Now, hopefully it's not horrible and echoey, but it might be. So, Paul, are you aware of what this vehicle is? What it could be?
No. I actually have never heard of. I've never seen a car like this. Looks like a little smart car.
That's kind of close. It's probably the closest thing most American consumers have seen. This is the Tata Nano, built by Tata Motors from like 2008 to 2018. Now, people did talk about this. I did find this online. They said this was discontinued, but they actually did make them for a number of years after. Here's one in flames. Obviously, to be in fairness to them, there's images out there that don't involve it being in flames. Here's how it just looks if it's not engulfed in horrible flames.
It's cute. Look at that little thing.
Pretty
I want to pinch its little cheeks. Look at that thing.
So in 2008, Indian car manufacturer Tata Motors launched.
Why did somebody said Tesla?
Tesla.
That's fucked up.
That's racist. Sorry, guys.
That's racist.
Launched the Tata Nano, an ultra compact hatchback designed specifically for the domestic Indian market. So this was only designed to really be sold in India. And we'll get into why, because I don't think it would meet the standards of most Western countries. Tata Motor launched the Nano with basically motorcyclists in mind. Like they're trying to convert people. It's like, look, you might have a motorcycle. How about a small car? So to appeal to them, they're like, let's build basically the cheapest possible vehicle we can build. Like we're trying to make this as bare bones as possible. We really want to appeal to people with limited funding, obviously,
Sure.
like limited funds. So the Nano was priced at 100,000 rupees. At the time, that was about $2,500 in 2008.
Oh boy!
They're trying to build a car and sell it to you for $2,500 at the time.
I mean, the price is right. I gotta tell you, man, the price is right.
I don't know. After you see this whole section, you might feel differently.
I'm just not gonna get the on fire package. I'm not gonna pay extra for the bursts into flame package, you know?
Well, that's probably wise of you. Like, I think that's a lot of the lower end consumers there. The base model maybe had the flame package. You know, if you can upgrade and get the non-flaming vehicle. So the company hoped, like, look, we have a compact design and a low price. It's going to make it popular because, look, it's like people can afford this. You know, residents of urban areas primarily, and many people who rely on motorcycles and mopeds for personal transportation. So it's like, let's convert people who drive on mopeds and motorcycles. Let's sell them their first car.
Did it have like a little stereo deck in it so you could roll around town playing that like Indian music? Like,
I believe on the upgraded models, it might have, but on the base model, I don't believe it did.
Dude, they should make an engine for it that sounds like that when it revs, you know? It does the Indian. Yep, dude.
That's something they could have considered for sure.
I like
However,
this thing.
You know, Paul, there's a big caveat. When you try to build something as cheap as possible, I mean, you got to cut corners, right? You got to keep those costs low. You can't sell this for $2,500 and expect this to be a very luxurious vehicle. Unfortunately, you cut corners though. Safety flaws, those come into play. It's like, oh shit, you know, we cut every corner. We did everything we could to make this as cheap as possible. What's one thing we should definitely invest in? Not safety. Who cares about safety? Look, someone's going to take you out. Live dangerously. So unfortunately, these things were prone to burst into flames after rear collisions. That's pretty common with them.
That's a shame.
Too bad though, right? Yeah, you know, okay, shit. They burst into flames, but you know, that's not every vehicle is going to crash, right? You know, I mean, that's not always a possibility. So here we go. They actually went to apparently some German people actually tested this car because I don't think they do this in India. Maybe they do now. At the time, they didn't. So this is a crash safety test for the Tata Nano. It receives 0 stars, and I think that'll become plain as to why we watch this.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
no.
Perfect, right? The console of the car should totally hit you in the face. By the way, no airbags.
Yeah, I mean the crumple zone is you.
Yes. And we're going to see this from all different angles. So you see the head on. Here's the side here.
I mean, yeah, it looks like the car just absorbs about fucking 3 feet of that barrier. That's not good on such a tiny car.
I mean, you're going to have horrible whiplash. Your head's hitting the console. Look, your head's slamming into that more than likely.
Oh, you're fucked. Yeah, you're fucked.
The crumple zone, like your legs, the driver's legs are destroyed. The passenger's legs are destroyed. Yeah. You're crumpling in. Like you're probably not walking away from this.
No, there's no way. You're lucky if you survive this.
Yeah, this is like you're lucky to make it through. So, and this is what they're selling to people. No airbags of any kind. So weak structure of the Tata Nano crash shows some airbags cannot make some cars safer, which this one didn't even feature an airbag. That's what they're saying. The frame structure is so weak, even if they'd put airbags in it, it wouldn't have made a difference.
Right.
These people are still going to be in horrible agony and probably dead. I mean, or severely injured, best case scenario, when they crash these things. Not to mention, if this person's hitting the back, not only is this crumpling on them, but it's also catching fire. That's always fun, right?
Yep.
Tithings
for Lord Scotty and Lord Paul, none for TJ till he admits he shit his britches. I agree.
Thank you.
This guy says Apu's car. That's racist.
Treating
the global south as the dumping ground for stuff you can't sell to the first world is a time-honored tradition. You are correct about that, sir.
Well, this is an Indian company too, though. So
damn, they fucked themselves out of this.
Yes, this was for the domestic market. So this was, I mean, this if you're saying the global south, this was designed to be sold there. Because I don't think they had any illusion they're going to sell this shit in the United States or the West or Australia or any of those other countries. They're thinking they're going to sell this domestically at the time. So they didn't sell too many of these, but they did sell them for a number of years. They sold just some figures for you. When they first started selling it, they sold about 30,000. The last year they were selling them, 2017, 2018, they sold about 1,500. Their goal, and they never went higher than, just to give you an example, 74,000 was their peak, and that was in 2011, 2012. Their goal in the first year was to sell 250,000 units.
they fell a little short.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I have a section here. I gotta pull this. I don't know if I actually did. Of course, this is like some Wikipedia of the show shit. Actually, let's just move this over here. Here are the cost-cutting features. So, guys, it's literally Wikipedia, but this was the best place to show you. The Nano's trunk was only accessible from inside the car, as the rear hatch does not open.
Hey, fucking A, man.
But eventually received a full hatchback in 2015. You think you're gonna get 2 windshield wipers? You get 1. That's all you get.
That's all you need. That thing is tiny.
Yeah, no base power steering due to lightweight. Added in higher variants. So if you spend a little more, you could get power steering. 3 lug nuts per wheel. Driver's side wing mirror on base model. Higher variants fitted with passenger side. I don't even know what that is. Oh, I guess you do. It says you do have a radio or CD player. Okay, never mind. Paul. I'm sorry. That does have that. I apologize. It looks like they did spring for that. You couldn't get an airbag, unfortunately. None of that. On the base model, no air conditioning. No big deal. Front passenger seat, same as driver's seat, and headrest are integrated. So you don't have a separate one. Whatever you get is what you get. Yeah, so it's great. Front door power windows only offered on highest variant. So you're doing that. That's supposed to be a cheap car.
Damn. Dude, I'm going to import one of these. I'm going to throw 22s on that bitch. I'm going to slam it to the fucking ground and put 22.
You have to recondition the entire vehicle. Then these would not be street legal in the US.
Dubs on this bitch.
Worried but nano trouble for the Tatas, or not so nano trouble actually. After their low-flow buses is the world's cheapest car that's mysteriously catching fire. A second car has burst into flames within a fortnight.
Within a fortnight. That's not a term you would use in the US.
Oh, man. I don't know why that tickled me so much. It was the use of the fortnight, I think.
Oh, dude, it's total sensational journalism just through an Indian lens. Let's look at it.
A brand new Nano goes up in flames in Vadodara's Boriavi village. Fortunately, no one is injured as the car was being transported to a dealer.
It's like they're playing a Tool album and doing a news report at the same time.
Yeah, I don't get what is this? Yeah, what is this? What's going on in India?
I don't know, but don't buy a Tata Nano.
What if the fire had broken out when the car was being driven home by its new owner? The fire began in the rear of the vehicle before engulfing the whole body. 10 other Nanos that were being transported with it were saved from the flames.
They saved him from the flames. I don't think they should have.
Oh man, yeah, that is.
I think they should have left well enough alone on that front. I don't think they should have saved shit. Oh man,
it's not the first time.
You might remember this one, Paul. The Touchpad. The HP Touchpad. Do you remember this one?
Yes, I do remember the HP Touchpad.
Only lasted about 49 days on the market. It's not a bright idea. To give you some background, this is supposed to be like an iPad competitor, like an iPad killer. That's what HP was going for with this. At the time, they were really trying to compete. They had Palm Pilot, they had WebOS, and it's like, we're going to come out with a competitor for the iPad. When such a thing will seem possible, really.
Dude, I'm still using my HP Touchpad, Scotty.
Oh, are you?
Best computer I've ever fucking owned, Scotty. Best device, best computer I've ever fucking owned.
Oh, really?
Touchpad or die is what I always say.
Oh, okay. You can actually still buy these, surprisingly. I have seen touchpads for sale. So this thing did not last very long. We actually have this article here. This is actually something I remember actually happening. Best Buy could not sell these things. They could not sell these things to save their life. Like,
because everybody wants an iPad. They don't want the uncool off-brand iPad. Like you're just never gonna it's never gonna sell.
And even most tech reviewers said like it had potential, but they're like, it's not better than the iPad. So like, why are you gonna buy it if it's not better, or at least like pretty much the same? It's like, hey, downgrade to this. And to be a competing product, it's just not going to work. Best Buy is sitting on more than 200,000. This is from 2011. 200,000 unsold touchpads, and it's threatening to send them back to HP. So it's like, oh shit. The situation is so bad that top HP exec is slated to fly to Minnesota to try and make nice. Look, we're really sorry. We'll do anything. Please, we'll do anything. They sold about 25,000 of these. That's all they were able to sell of the touchpad. And to give you an idea, I went and looked into this. So HP ultimately, this did not go well. Like they knocked hundreds of dollars off the price. I think eventually this was actually sold for $99. I think they launched it at $4.99, and by the time they had only just sold 25,000, they had cut this back to $100. Like I remember people like, and people were interested then. They're like, "Oh shit, a tablet for $100." But it's basically because HP gave up on the touchpad and its mobile operating system entirely at WebOS just a month and a half after on the market. So like this basically just killed any idea that HP was going to have anything to do with the mobile market at all.
Damn. Face plant.
So they sold 25,000 of these. And I was curious. I'm like, well, how much did Apple sell? Like maybe at the time, you know, they weren't selling that many. Maybe it was like somewhat close. In comparison, Apple sold 32 million iPads in 2011.
Yeah, no, I mean every it was the hottest shit. Like when iPad came out, the first few versions of it, especially, everybody fucking wanted one. It was the crazy new thing that everybody had to have. And yeah, there's no way that HP is gonna make one. Didn't they? Was it HP or no? It was Microsoft that made the Zune.
Oh, the Zune.
It's the same shit. It's like fucking Apple came out with the iPod, and everybody, like literally everybody, had to have one because it was now how music worked. And fucking some of the, you know, these other companies are all releasing their shitty little fucking players, and nobody wanted them because they sucked.
So I figured it out. They sold 0.078125% as many HP touchpads as they did iPads that year. Oh, HP. What's to be done with you guys? A commercial.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, some of these products you can't find commercials. This one, I was actually surprised. And see, this was a big thing at the time. It has beats built into it. Oh, it's got beats.
Entertain you. Let me make you smile. Let me do a few tricks, some old and some new tricks.
I will say this like switching between apps thing, that did catch on.
Yeah, but this tuba music ain't it, bro.
No, yeah,
this fucking yeah, that's like what you want people to think of when they see your fucking device. No, this is bad.
I'm very versatile, so let me entertain you, and we'll have a real good time.
The amazing sound of Beats Audio and the brilliance of Flash. Oh.
Yeah, that just dated itself with Flash. So remember, Apple at the time didn't support Flash, so it was like that's like a big market. Look, this will play Flash videos, which I think HTML5 replaced Flash standards or whatever. Anyways, I'm not an expert on that or know much about it, but I do remember at the time that was a controversy. It was like, oh, Apple doesn't work with Flash, so this is better.
Yeah, that's a misfire too. And yeah, dude, you're having kind of the same problem with your videos as you were earlier. Like it sounds like you're doubling up. I think that's all that's going on here. Like I think that whatever coming through your computer is also coming through your mic input.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't pull too many videos, and I can even probably send you the other video I have, so you can play it.
I mean, if you want to do that, yeah, it's fine. It's just I'm just letting you know it's the same issue.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's why we were late tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
We'll look behind the scenes.
But you know, we'll go back to this image here. And in fairness, HP, most people that review the touchpad, it wasn't like they're like, oh my god, this was the worst product ever. It was a lot of people said, yeah, it's kind of rough around the edges. There's definitely potential, but at the same time, it didn't do anything better than the iPad, and it wasn't better.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're gonna come out with if you're gonna try and ride the wave of another brand that's already invented a brand new piece of technology, you have to beat it. And they thought like their sales pitch was, we got Flash, dude. Nobody cared. Everybody was on the boat of like, get rid of fucking Flash. Flash was on its way out anyway. By the time this fucking thing came out, it was already one of the buggiest and shittiest fucking development tools.
What about the Samsung touchpad? I don't think it's at all related to this. So there's a couple of reasons why. So there was issues at the top level of HP management that may have impacted the touchpad's future. First, there was the firm's previous leadership. So that according to this guy, Charles King, the touchpad runs on Palm's WebOS, or the time it did, which HP acquired when it purchased Palm under the leadership of then CEO Mark Hurd, who left basically under that less than desirable circumstances, which I'm not sure if I have pulled that information here. The next one is HP's leadership, both C-level executives and its board of directors, seemed intent on moving the company away from client products, including tablets. So there's really like it was like really a pivotal time in the company. They were moving away from necessarily selling to the average consumer, and it looks like they're more focused on an enterprise strategy for their business. And it seems like this got started under the predecessor of the CEO, and it's kind of like, oh shit, we got to do something with this. Like we can't just not release it. But as we said, it wasn't a wise idea. They're going up against Apple at the time with the hottest product in the world. Because when the iPad came out, I mean, like, yeah, the iPhone definitely got popped, but this was like, holy shit, this is the ultimate infotainment device, which is what most people use, iPads for to begin with. It's games and, basically watching movies and shit. The commercials like to show you them doing all kinds of like, I'm designing the fucking Sistine Chapel. It's like you're watching Netflix.
Dude, for me, it was like the Star Trek future is here.
That's true,
like
yeah.
That weird little fucking pad that they walked around with that they bleep blooped on and shit is here, dude. The fucking Star Trek bleep bloop pad is real, and it's here. Yeah, I was less enthused with it after I played with one. I was lucky I worked with them, so I didn't have to learn the hard way by buying one and that I never would use. I was issued one. And after I actually got my hands on it, I was I'm not a big fan of these fucking handheld tablet PC things.
Oh, dude, another huge flaw that really they just couldn't stack up with was the fact that this, when it launched, had about 350 applications compared to, iOS, the App Store. That launched that whole idea behind like, hey, let's have an app for that. Let's have an app for that, which in some ways is really annoying, to be honest with you at this point. But at the time, it was like, you're talking about a huge ecosystem of apps versus like, oh, you got 350, which it doesn't sound like it's that big, but 350 apps. How many apps are you going to use? But when you think of how niche these devices can be to the to specifically to the person who's going to buy it, that might say, oh, they don't have an app for that. So it's like yet again, it's another reason not to buy the product.
Right.
And of course, timing and competition just being other huge factors here. You're going up against, at the time, the hottest tech company in the world with the hottest product. There's just nothing here. There's nothing about this that makes it more compelling, and there's too many drawbacks. So ultimately, I went back. I actually went and watched reviews from some big tech channels at the time, and it was just like, I can't. And I saw the same thing repeat over and over again. I can't recommend this. I just can't recommend this. I saw one like kind of shilly New York Times one where they're like, oh, maybe it's like, hey, this has been paid for. Like no one who seemed to be an independent reviewer could recommend this. They're like, look, there's just better shit on the market. Why would I fucking recommend something to you that's not as good? And that ultimately killed this product. Like I said, it only lasted 49 days. And then HP management, who didn't even really want to put this product up. Because, like, dude, there was literally stories about people going who were like journalists to these Best Buys and like, where's the touchpad? And they're like, oh, we haven't put those out yet. It's like, what? You just launched a product and you can't go buy it. Like, and think about like, the iPhone launch ball. Almost every year for years when that was a new product, I'm sure probably still now, people would stand outside Apple stores waiting to buy it.
Oh yeah, for sure. They had their rollout shit down to a science because they knew that they were going to sell, like they would flood the market with them. But like you only really can do like these HP ones, like they were probably scared shitless to do that because they like by this point, 32 million people already own a tablet PC and they already own an iPad. So like launching this after that fucking wave it's gotta feel bad.
Yeah, Touchpad's also not a great name. It's just like, look, it's just a matter of a company changing direction and being saddled with baggage that they really, if we're being honest, I'm getting ahead of ourselves here. If we're just being honest, this is not going to work. That's ultimately not going to work. Oh, this is fucking tiny. This is one of those products that if they totally came out with it today, would probably be a success. But just at the time it came out, just people didn't really understand it.
Nobody wants to put yogurt on their head, like maybe some people do, but yeah, I think you're right. Now, like, it would be seen as bougie or whatever, but this just looks weird. It looks like a bottle of salad dressing or something.
Yeah. So this was released by Procter and Gamble in 1979. And maybe you're thinking, oh, maybe Procter and Gamble was a smaller company back then. Maybe that's why they were trying. It's like
No.
it was an 8 billion. The revenue that year was 8.1 billion.
Yeah, no. Procter and Gamble's been around forever, and they've been huge forever. Yeah.
So definitely a misfire here, but we actually have an ad, I believe we can take a look at.
A touch of yogurt.
A touch of yogurt to your hair.
No thanks, bro.
Don't you want to have a touch of yogurt to your hair, Paul?
A touch of yogurt on your head. It's like, no.
Yeah, the Bill Maher video I actually sent you, Paul, by the way. This one, I mean, we'll just...
Where did you send it to?
In the private chat on StreamYard.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Touch of healthy looking shimmery hair. Get the rich shampoo with a touch that's new. Touch of yogurt. Get the touch.
Now, Clairol's put yogurt with natural organic protein into new shimmery, shiny Touch of Yogurt shampoo. So rich it makes your hair shimmer and shine and feel like silk. Clean, healthy, touchable silk.
Touch of yogurt.
Yeah, nobody wanted to put yogurt on their head yet. It took another fucking 40 years or so for people to get used to this idea of putting yogurt all over your head. Now you're right. They come out with one that you could dress a salad with and put in your hair. I'm game. I'm all for dual use products,
So what do you think? And this didn't happen, I'm sure with a ton of consumers, but what do you think some consumers did with this product? If you just had to guess, just based on the name.
A touch of yogurt? Did they jerk off with it? Did they use it as sexual lubricant?
They tried to eat it.
Oh, well, yeah. They thought, because it looks, like I said, it looks like a fucking bottle of dressing.
Yeah, so I have a little blurb.
What a bunch of fucking idiots, dude.
I know.
It says shampoo on the bottle, man, and you just smell it. You don't smell something before you dive right in?
So here, yogurt and other cultured dairy products may actually be beneficial for your hair. Like many companies, Procter & Gamble began emphasizing natural ingredients in its products in the 70s to answer the overall back to nature movement of the time. So of course, they're just chasing trends, which I think that's definitely become bigger now. I mean,
oh yeah, that holistic kind of natural fucking market is huge now.
It's huge. So like, this is really a case of a product that's way ahead of its time. But probably not necessarily a terrible product, but terrible in the sense it was how it was marketed and how people understood it in the general public. It was common for many shampoos to contain a variety of natural ingredients, including honey, various herbs, and fruits. When Clairol, a subsidiary of Procter & Gamble, released its Touch of Yogurt shampoo in 1979, however, customers did not take to associating dairy with hair products. So at the time, this was like, what? It's dairy, and it's like, how is the so like the consumer was just confused.
Right. Yeah.
Of course, the product was also confusing to some. There were a number of cases of people mistakenly eating it and getting sick as a result.
I saw a product in Walmart called hair mayonnaise. Well, dude, I'll tell you that. Like my back in the 80s and 90s, my mom used to like use mayonnaise on my sister's hair. It's like apparently it's pretty fucking common to put mayonnaise in your hair for whatever. It was like a conditioner before conditioners were good,
Oh, really? I was not aware of that. But like it said, some dairy products have been shown to have some benefits. I've definitely seen that in modern products. But at the time, of course, people were just like, huh? Surprisingly, Touch of Yogurt was not Clairol's first failed foray into milk-based hair products. So they were hot from this. Like, we got to get milk into people's hair. We got to figure out a way. 3 years earlier, it had attempted to market a shampoo called The Look of Buttermilk. Both sold poorly and are no longer available in the U.S. Yeah,
I mean, it's just too. Yeah, at this time, people weren't like there were nowhere near as many competing brands in the 70s and 80s as there are now, and so we weren't used to this like weird. There's a million of everything, so there's definitely a yogurt shampoo idea yet. So I can see like I still think anybody who ate this is stupid as fuck, but I can see how it happened. You could probably fool quite a few morons with it even today. It's just marketed wrong. It's marketed like a fucking salad dressing, and that's not what you want to have people think about when they're putting shit in their hair.
Oh, definitely not. I don't know, but God bless him, Paul. They tried.
Yeah, they tried.
Oh man, I'm tired. What do you need when you wake up? You need Pepsi AM.
Is this like just Pepsi with extra caffeine?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
you
bro.
nailed it, dude. You nailed it. You figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the what are we gonna do? People are starting to drink Jolt colas in the morning. Better make Pepsi AM.
Yeah, surprisingly, you basically just hit the nail on the head. So Mountain Dew, of course, been around forever. Higher caffeine content. Jolt Cola. I remember, like, you bought that. It was like, it's twice the caffeine. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that was like the road trip drink, you know. And if you're starting early in the morning, you pull in, you get a fucking Jolt.
I remember asking my mom for that. It's like, Mom, I don't want Coke anymore. I want Jolt Cola. So there's no question that consumers will definitely buy soft drinks that have high levels of caffeine.
I mean, that's the point for a lot of people, I think.
Oh, for sure. Whether they know it or not. Sometimes it could just be like a way of medicating if you're tired. However, consumers apparently, for some reason, now this isn't universal. I think for most people it holds true. They don't want to drink caffeinated soft drinks with their, their breakfast. They're not thinking like eggs, bacon, Coke. Now, I'm sure there's people that do it. Not saying that. I'm saying the most people, they probably want a glass of orange juice or something. They want to have some milk. They're probably not thinking, hey, I want a fucking Pepsi.
Cup of coffee.
Yeah, I mean, of course, coffee. I mean, coffee is the go-to. Remember Coke Black? We remember. We remember right now. Remember about Pepsi. I remember nothing about no Coke. You're out of your mind, buddy. So every company that's been around for long enough has had to deal with product introduction that didn't go as planned. I mean, any big company is going to roll out shit that's not going to work. You got to try new things. You got to spice it up. And of course, we talked about it in the previous episode. What did Coke do? Let's do new Coke. Bad idea. Bad fucking idea. Can't do that. So Pepsi they had a dilemma basically. They're like, man, people will not drink our drink for breakfast. There's got to be a way we can do it. There's got to be a way we can convince people to drink Pepsi for breakfast. Thus, Pepsi AM was born. And Diet Pepsi AM too, Paul. So if you're like, hey, I'm watching my figure here, don't worry. You can also get a 1 calorie variety.
Whoa.
Yeah, 1 calorie. No, they're not saying 0. They're saying 1, which I mean, like, that's fair enough. I mean, 1 calorie I can do. If it was 0, that'd be better, but 1 I'll take.
I feel like this shit was just ahead of its time again.
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways it was.
It was like the pre-Red Bull. They were on to some shit. They were like, people are going to want more and more caffeine. They want a bigger jolt. Let's put some more caffeine in. It just wasn't time.
That's where they fucked up, dude, because they associated with a long-standing product. If they called it and some other shit, I think you're right. It could have worked out. There could have been a way they made it work, but just the association with Pepsi and AM, we'll talk about it. Pepsi presumed that because consumption of coffee had decreased in the 80s, customers would be looking for an alternative beverage to get them their caffeine fix in the morning. So it's like the number of coffee cups people are drinking is down. Maybe they're looking for an alternative, not necessarily they're turning away from just turning away from coffee. The number of cups of coffee tipped back per person in 1989. So the number of coffee per person drank was just 1.75, which is down from a peak of 3.12 in the 60s. So we saw coffee consumption per day and per person nearly cut in half. So Pepsi's looking at that from their studies and going, well, maybe they want to drink Pepsi. Maybe that's the answer.
No.
Unfortunately for them,
the answer, I hate to tell you, Pepsi, but the answer is never, I just want to drink Pepsi. Like Pepsi is the sad time at the restaurant when you say, hey, can I get a Coke? And they say, we've got Pepsi products.
Pepsi, all right?
That's what Pepsi is. It's the, I guess. I mean, if there ain't no Coke, I guess I'll take a Pepsi. So, yeah.
Energy drinks. Well, we talked about that. So there was a trend in the U.S. where people weren't drinking as much coffee, and the energy drinks, they got it right. They're like, let's just say it's loaded with a bunch of vitamins and good shit for you, and also gives you tons of energy, like 5-hour energy. You're right, but packaging and processing that makes it easier than a cup of coffee. There's obviously benefits to that. There's honestly, you can buy prepackaged, pre-made coffee too if you're fucking lazy. I don't think making a cup of coffee is that big of a deal, but hey, for some consumers, it is. So, of course, Pepsi was also looking to capitalize on soda consumption, especially in the mornings, because they're like, oh, maybe it's so we feel like we can really sell people more. The percentage of soft drinks sales in the morning went up from 10% to about 15% of all soft drink sales over the course of a decade. So they did notice a slight uptick, and it's like, well, maybe there's something we can do here. So Pepsi introduced their AM formula, which now had 25% more caffeine.
Oh, shit. It's not enough. They needed to do like Pepsi 2X or whatever the fuck, you know?
No, you're right. And you don't even see it here with the bottles, like or the cans rather. You don't see them saying like 25% more caffeine or double the caffeine. It's like Pepsi with an AM on it.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
So they introduced, they're both varieties. As you can see here, there was just a Pepsi AM with, it was sugar. And then of course there was the, saccharine or diet variety with 1 calorie, not 0 calories. I tell you now, it's 0 calories. No, it's 1 calorie. 1. But a problem with it was calling it Pepsi AM kind of pigeonholes it, because you're thinking about Pepsi AM, you're like, oh, I drink that in the morning. So if you're thinking about it as a person, you're not thinking like in the evening, you're just going to drink Pepsi. So it's like, oh shit, which one should I drink? Well, Pepsi AM is for the morning. So just yet again, market confusion.
Yeah, that's true. Because if you're like going into the 7-Eleven at night or whatever, you're just not going to buy a Pepsi AM for most of the day.
And whereas energy drinks have fixed that, because it's like energy when you need it. That's why you always hear about it just being about energy. And so, yeah, it'll definitely show people waking up and getting energy, but it's also someone working late. It's like they market it as a versatile thing. Like whenever you need this pick me up, it's here. Whereas this is like, hey, you wake up, instead of having that cup of coffee, have a Pepsi. So they kind of branded it wrong. And of course, sales did not really work out for it.
No. Imagine
it sold pretty poorly. It was done. I actually believe, I don't know if it was ever actually nationwide, but I think it was rolled out into some markets. But I don't think it ever actually translated to being everywhere. And by the fall of 1990, Pepsi had just tapped out. They're like, look, this isn't selling well. It's a confused marketplace because, you have Pepsi, then you have Pepsi AM, you have all these other products. It just confuses consumers. Like, and honestly, if they really wanted that, they're just going to drink a Pepsi. That's ultimately what it was like. I'd rather fucking buy a Pepsi. If for some reason I'm insane and I prefer Pepsi to Coke, I'm just gonna go buy a regular fucking Pepsi. And I can drink too. I don't need to drink fucking one with 25% more caffeine. I actually found you can buy this. You can buy yourself a can of Pepsi AM if you truly are just like, you know what, I want to try it.
You can get a lot of these old expired ass drinks from that don't exist anymore. There's a lot of people like there's a nostalgia market for it. But I wouldn't drink a Pepsi AM from the fucking
90s or 80s.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like it would be a good idea.
$12 delivery. So hey, for just $211.88, you could be the proud owner of this.
Pepsi needs to get into the drug market, man. They need to be the first soda to be like Pepsi with weed. Pepsi that'll get you high. I know they already have sodas, but I don't think Pepsi has touched it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't think they should do. I think Pepsi and meth should just be like, look, Pepsi should lobby to make cocaine and meth legal, and then give people the pick me up they really want.
Yeah.
We tap dance around it, Paul. Oh, you need some energy, but come on. If people could have legal meth, they would take it. They would fucking take it. Let's just be honest. And I can't blame them. So at this point in the episode, I'm like, I got to pull another product. But for some reason, I don't remember how this happened. Probably just going down the YouTube rabbit hole. a clip of Bill Maher and Kid Rock came to my attention. And I was like, I just looked at it and I was like, what the fuck is this, dude? And honestly, when Kid Rock beats Bill Maher in an argument and debate, to me, it's just Bill Maher is dead. Like, I know Bill Maher's been dead for a while.
Yes.
But part of me is like, is he really? Is he truly dead? 'Cause I mean, there's still moments of greatness. There's still the flash of like what Bill Maher used to be. You know, and I don't think I never just fully agree with Bill Maher. I don't want to say like, oh, everything he said, 10 years, 20 years ago, I love Bill Maher, he's great. But I had respect for Bill Maher as a pundit or as someone like, I mean, he debated a lot of people. I mean, like there were lively debates on politically incorrect and real time. He brought in interesting people with opposing viewpoints.
He was one of the first mainstream like figures I remember just saying like, I'm an atheist too. Like he was a pretty early adopter of that.
Religious. I went and saw that and loved that. I actually had to go to New Orleans to watch that, and I fucking loved that movie or documentary when it came out. I was like, "This is awesome." But as an atheist, I'm like, "This is the kind of shit I want to see being made." Just to basically break this shit down and make it mainstream for people. And it's not like this militant atheist shit where people can just admit, "Oh, you're just some crazy fucking teenager that loves atheism." You know what I mean? Like a good kind of cogent, but at times personal, emotional argument and explanation of Bill Maher's atheism. And just in general. And I felt that was really a powerful fucking piece of art. And to go from someone that's doing that kind of stuff, which I still agree with him on a lot of that stuff, to just doing shit like this fucking club random fucking garbage. And we'll see. And then like Bill Maher seeds ground and he's wrong. And it's just unthinkable for someone to be like, I'm a lefty liberal.
Well, that's because Bill Maher is one of these blighted liberals. He's one of these dudes that used to fight for the same kind of shit that's happening now, like gay inclusion, like respecting people and not calling trans women men and blah, 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 blah. Like he used to be on the same side of all that. But he's one of these poor, blighted old liberals that is like, just cannot get with the fucking, it's just, that's a bridge too far. And so he's like, yeah, I'm a liberal, but I'm not woke or whatever. And so what it leads him to do is literally get on a fucking show with Kid Rock, one of the stupidest motherfuckers, by the way.
And this is Bill Maher's show too, by the way. This
Yeah.
isn't like because Kid Rock's doing the show. This is Bill Maher's fucking new podcast that he's been promoting like crazy.
Yeah, Kid Rock is one of the, if you ever listen to a Kid Rock interview sometime, he's a monosyllabic idiot, dude. He is a total moron. And here's Bill Maher like tripping over himself to agree with this guy because they're anti-woke. Like this is one of the liberals that wants to let Republicans become the cool counterculture, group.
Oh God, yeah. And if you guys are wondering why this is the end of my section or the end of this episode, is because back in the day, TJ did some great videos like The Beautiful Destruction of Steve Shives and shit. So like this is basically the prelude, The Beautiful Destruction of Bill Maher. I'm ripping this guy. Like this is the moment I'm like, fuck Bill Maher. We've tap danced around this motherfucker. Maybe there'll be a gauntlet. Maybe it'll be something. But I want to destroy this motherfucker at this point. I'm so sick of him being a representation of supposedly of being progressive or being liberal, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And he's not. He's not at fucking all. And he's basically in this fucking centrist, clear-eyed centrist fucking grift, endorsing fucking politicians are totally out of touch. He's out of touch himself. Look, like that's the thing with this fucking set. I just look at his set and I can just tell like this motherfucker has no clue anymore. He has no idea.
Don't look comfortable at all. Those chairs look really uncomfortable to sit in. They're ugly as fuck too. It looks like the 90s puked. And two chairs came out.
I know, right? And this the fucking set, it's like dank, but not like in the cool sense, like a dank fucking basement where like it's like, is Bill Maher about to be fucked in the ass by Kid Rock? Well, he just did verbally. I guess we can listen to it. It's awful. It is fucking horrible.
So here's Bill Maher agreeing with Kid Rock and Trump, apparently, I guess.
We don't want to go to war.
Of course not.
Okay, so
that was Donald Trump's greatest feat. He kept us out of war.
Wrong.
Uh-oh, shots fired.
It's like, huh? Donald Trump fucking drone bombed with the best of them, and Donald Trump failed to meet his own deadline to pull the fucking troops out of Afghanistan. So at what point Like how did he help? How did he keep us out of war? You dumb fuck. This is what I'm talking about, man. This fucking guy.
We have a little fact check thing about that too, by the way. That we'll show after this. But let's play the clip first.
No. I mean, yeah, we didn't have a war overseas. It's true. I mean, and great. I mean, I'll give him credit for that.
I guess none of the ongoing wars overseas count. Right?
Yeah.
Look, I gave him credit big time for moving the
Employment was an all-time
for
high.
moving-
Minorities were working more than ever.
Okay, moving the some of that is
Border was under control.
Sweetheart, I'm not the guy.
Wait.
I'm not straw man here. I'm not the guy.
You just call Kid Rock sweetheart?
He did, and Kid Rock said the border was under control. Like the reason they wanted to build the wall was because the border was out of control, according to Trump.
Yes.
Like
Who's ever going to argue that or be that person?
I
who
think it's
just,
good that Biden got fucking drug prices negotiated with fucking.
Great. See,
that's
that's
good.
what we right. Let's just not instinctively hate somebody because of who they are and what team they're on.
No, that's not why people on the left hate Donald Trump. They hate Donald Trump because he's literally a symbol of everything wrong with American culture. He's a fat, stupid, racist idiot that fucking
I have no idea what he's talking about either.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
he revels in being stupid. He's got a giant ego, but none of the fucking knowledge to back it. He was a president that refused to read the daily fucking briefing. Like they had to come up with picture books type of ways to show. Like you don't remember that shit?
oh no, I remember it was
Like
it
he
was
literally would not read the national security briefing that every president gets every morning, which lets them know, like, here's the big issues going on right now that you need to know about. He wouldn't read it, and so they had to come up with a flashcard thing for this fucking 2-year-old. And this gonna keep happening too. Dude, you watch over the next 10, 15 years, there's gonna be this rehabilitate Trump thing where it's like people are gonna be like, oh man, I kind of miss Donald Trump now. You know what I mean? He wasn't all that bad. Happens with every goddamn fucking president, bro. Every president, and people think Trump's immune for it. Here's Bill Maher doing it already. It's not hate people just because they're on a different team. That's not why they hated Trump. They hated Trump because he was a fucking ruthless capitalist, a shitty fucking imperialist, and a union-busting piece of fucking shit, a fascist piece of shit, anti-immigration, anti-immigrant.
I mean, basically tried to fucking overthrow the government with his fucking coup. I mean, like he led a fucking coup.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know that he fucking led it, but his fucking irresponsibility allowed it to happen for sure. I don't think Trump had any fucking clue what was going to happen that day. I think, you know what I mean? Or maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Let's think about this. He made a fucking his barn burner speech. Is like, I'll meet you at the Capitol. Of course, his ass is smart enough to go to the fucking White House and just go chill. There was an angry mob of fucking people that show up. And like, dude, the crazy thing was, I remember shit like, dude, fucking people knew that this thing was going to happen. They knew, I mean, like maybe they didn't know the extent of it. I'm saying you can predict the future. But Trump, at the very least, was crucial to inciting people's feelings that there was not something illegitimate had happened.
I mean,
like,
I know they're doing a big fucking like the committee or whatever to find out what happened. They need to get to the bottom of that shit, because I'm telling you, like if you look at Washington D.C. when Black Lives Matter was marching on it, you get a whole different fucking Washington D.C. So there's a giant bunch of fucking gun-toting rednecks in D.C. who are openly calling for, like, let's go chicken hunting, y'all. It's time to cleanse. It's time to refresh the tree of liberty. And there's like 5 cops trying to hold the Capitol. You know what I mean? Like, where are the stormtroopers? Where the, like, every street is lined with these dudes with batons and fucking tear gas and shit.
Trump wasn't a fascist, but he was a bad president. Calling it fashion weakens the word. The only reason Trump wasn't a fascist is because he was stopped by the legal mechanisms that prevented him from being a fascist.
Right, and you don't have to be living in a fascist government to be a fascist either.
Yeah, like
he was
able to succeed in that, but that's what he wanted. That's basically how Trump viewed the government. Like he
was fascist in a number of ways. His anti-immigrant sentiment, his dependency on the oligarchy, all of those things are typified in fascist governments. And so, like, I hate people that gatekeep that shit. He was a fucking fascist piece of shit.
He was doing
George W. Bush was a fucking fascist piece of shit. Like most of the presidents that have served in my lifetime were fascist pieces of fucking shit. Garbage, imperialist, fascist pieces of fucking shit.
So one of the claims made, and it's been made by a bunch of people, but of course, Donald Trump Jr. has made this claim. Is Trump the first president in modern history who didn't start a new war? This is Donald Trump Jr. Says that Donald Trump is the first president in modern history who did not start a new war. PolitiFacts rating. No, I mean, people say this is bullshit. Mostly false. Here's why. When Donald Trump came into office, the U.S. was still struggling to extricate itself from wars in Afghanistan and Iraq that had begun more than a decade earlier. When he left, U.S. troops levels in both countries were sharply lower, and some of Trump's supporters praised him for not starting any wars. His son, Donald Trump Jr., tweeted January 22nd that, quote, Donald Trump is the first president in modern history who did not start a new war. Oh, good job. Of course, Trump himself echoed these claims in his last address at the White House, saying he was the first president in decades. Look, believe me, I know decades. I know years. Not to start a war. And after Trump Jr., what the fuck? Stupid ads. And that's why I'm not pulling this on the screen. After Trump Jr. made his post, many users pushed back on his claim by citing Jimmy Carter. And remember that guy?
Yeah.
Who was president from 1977 to 81, who didn't start any new wars and is still alive. Well, wait a minute. Shit.
Yeah. Jimmy Carter just almost oversaw the complete and utter turning upside down of the Middle East by allowing the fucking Shah of Iran to come here for cancer treatment in defiance of the new government there. And he caused the fucking Iran hostage crisis. He was a totally weak piece of garbage of a president.
He was a weak president. I mean, like his speech on like there's an economic malaise in the country. I mean, he basically just ceded that like, hey, Ronald Reagan is going to wipe the floor with you, whoever the Republican nominee, and that's what happened.
Yeah,
of course, too. So PolitiFact reached out to 6 experts on U.S. military and foreign policy and asked them whether the former president deserves such a distinction. They said the answer depends on which presidents are considered modern and how you define war. Of course.
Of course.
But all of them agreed the claim lays out a key contest and paints a misleading portrait of Trump's administration in use of military force. The very definitions of war. The United States has formally declared war only in 5 conflicts: the War of 1812, the Mexican-American War, the Spanish-American War, World War I and II. A definition of war that rested on a formal declaration by Congress would leave out conflicts such as Vietnam, the Korean War, and the Iraq War. Oops. Oh, okay. Shit. That's according to Joseph D. Thomas, professor of Penn State School of International Affairs. These later conflicts began under a, quote, authorization of military force from Congress, giving the president powers to prosecute the war abroad and with impunity. Trump never asked for such an authorization during his administration. However, neither did his predecessor, Barack Obama. Oh, wait a minute. Both the parties are totally different. Which nonetheless oversaw sustained armed conflict in Afghanistan and the spirited NATO-backed intervention in Libya, which he was criticized for not seeking congressional approval. Well, because the president can go and declare war whenever the fuck they want. That's why they don't want a declaration of war or something official. Because the U.S. can just keep operating and all these fucking, basically black ops overseas wherever they want. So it's pretty laughable to say, oh, Trump wasn't involved in any wars. Yeah, in the sense of like, go to Congress, ask them like, do you declare war on this country? Yes, we do. We declare war. But if you go by that metric, it just showed, then the Vietnam War is not a war. And if you ask anybody, I'm pretty sure it's a fucking war, right, Paul? Am I crazy?
I mean, it's remembered by the people as a war, but the United States doesn't categorize it as such. They categorize it as a prolonged military conflict.
Yeah, people talk about special military operations, and the U.S. operates in many fucking theaters in every continent. So it's a fucking joke to be like, Trump was anti-war. No, he wasn't. That's a fucking lie. Did he start a new conflict? Like as far as the sense we're talking about, no. But neither did Obama, and Obama did more drone strikes than George W. Bush did. So it's like, was he fighting a war overseas? Like, of course he was.
Also deported more people than George W. Bush did.
Yeah, he did, surprisingly. Yeah, awesome. 60,000 deaths isn't a war. Right, of course. According to the U.S. government, that's not a war, guys. So yeah, let's go by that definition. So these people know it's misleading. They're just trying to give Trump, I always call him that, Trump a fucking boost. He doesn't deserve because he didn't participate in warfare.
Let's hear Bill Maher put his crinkly little lips on fucking Trump's tiny little orange dick a few more times here.
I was going to say, I loved it when Trump moved the embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. I thought that was a great thing.
Of course you do. You're an old fucking standard Hollywood Jewy guy. You know what I mean? Like you're a big like that was just the whole moving unless you have a personal fucking religious stake in that being done,
who
it was a
cares?
completely and utterly pointless move. And you made a fucking whole goddamn movie called Religulous. The only reason that would even be significant, moving the fucking U.S. embassy to Jerusalem instead of Tel Aviv, like it actually just, I would be willing to bet it was an unpopular fucking decision because it puts our embassy farther away from the seat of government in Israel. So your only basis for fucking praising that is some kind of religious basis, or you've got a dog in the hunt in the whole fucking Israel versus Palestine debate, and we all know who it is.
I mean,
that was just ridiculous.
Like
like
their embassy.
Yeah, it was total like religious pandering. It was pandering to people who think that Jerusalem is fucking significant because it's according to the Bible where Jesus was fucking, you know what I mean, hung or whatever the fuck up on the cross.
Jesus was hung, yeah.
He was hung up on the cross, right?
Yeah.
No, so this is like, I don't know, dude. He's just like, I don't know. Bill Maher, I think Bill Maher is having a fucking crisis, an identity crisis. He can't bring himself not to disparage gay people. That's a step too far. Talking about like changing our language so that it's not immediately, because like in the 90s, dude, you like gay people were disparaged with almost every breath by every fucking person in the country.
Watch a comedy from the 90s, and it's basically just like it's the butt of so many jokes.
Dude, watch 90s movies and shit, and you're gonna find tons of examples of just faggot this, faggot that.
Oh, right, just endlessly. And it's like
constant shit, constant like gay characters that are just over the top caricatures of human beings.
No real personalities besides I'm gay.
Right. And now like there's a pushback against that. There's a pushback to not just stop doing that, but to normalize.
Yeah.
Right. To normalize homosexuality. Bill Maher just can't be on fucking board with that. He just can't do it. The very thought of having to be considerate of somebody's preferred pronouns is just too it was a bridge too far. It was a bridge too far for Bill Maher.
Then you're giving into the wokies, Paul. You're too wokey then.
It's just like what an old piece of shit, grumpy grandpa motherfucker. It's just like,
taking an L to fucking Kid Rock, dude. Are you serious? Like we just demonstrated that he just let a fucking claim stealing about Trump didn't start any wars. Yeah, you're right. What the fuck is this? He's not going to contest that huge point. Like if Kid Rock says that to me, I'm going bullshit. And like I'm going to fucking at least argue with him and debate him. Like what is this like? I just tap. Okay, you're right, Kid Rock. I can't argue with you. You're just too brilliant. You're like, a gifted orator after all. Like that's what you're known for.
Yeah, Bill Maher loves Trump, dude. He loved covering Trump. And I got to be honest with you, listening to how this guy bitches about every little fucking social change and social movement that happens under his watch now, like I got a feeling he secretly likes what Trump represents, which is the protection of capital, the continuation of capitalist dominion, the continuation of America's aggressive bullshit foreign policy, the continuation of America's stomping of immigrants and stomping the environment, because he's probably got a bunch of money tied up in a bunch of companies that are doing just that. And he wants the status quo, basically. He's one of these fucking liberals that's minorly socially liberal, but probably 100% fucking economically conservative.
Oh, he is, dude. I mean, like, and at that point, he's really going against his own self-interest if he's not. Like, that's what happened. Bill Maher is just too rich and too out of touch. And, like, for him to think any other way about it, you're right. It would be, honestly, it would just be an inversion of what he would want. Like, why would he want things to change? He's rich and successful. Let's just look this up. What is Bill Maher's net worth? I guarantee
I'm sure he's worth a comfy, like, 10, 20 million at least.
Let's see what, I mean, obviously, we're not taking this as the fucking Possible. Oh, his net worth, according to this, $140 million.
Well, yeah, I forgot he's had a syndicated TV deal with HBO for like what 15 fucking years,
Oh
20,
God,
20 years.
It says his salary is $10 million a year.
I mean, that's absurd.
So yeah, he doesn't. What does it matter to Bill? Like Bill's not even like Bill is so rich and just out of our fucking league as far as the economics. And yeah, you're right. He is basically in the top wealthiest 0.1% in America. Besides like billionaires, I mean, we give a net worth of $140 million. Like you're just beyond 99.9% of fucking people. That is insane. And to pretend this guy is somehow representative of liberal or progressive values, like there's just, how could he possibly be? If he begins self-interest.
Bill Maher was faced with a choice as a fucking TV personality and as a political entity, because I'm telling you, Bill Maher used to be way farther to the left. But you know what? Leftism used to be focused on different things. In the 90s, leftism was a way more like radicalized, like even Bill Maher wouldn't like to admit it. And he got young people fired up because here was a guy that was their dad's age that was saying the shit that they thought, protect the environment, you know what I mean? Expand access to healthcare and all the things that were important as part of the, fucking redo the, like raise the minimum wage and all this shit. And he was perfectly fine during that decade. But you know what? He came up to a crossroads and he was like, I can either go with the kids, with the young people, and thus the wave of how society is going to be perceived, or I can stick with all the old fogies whose ideas about how far a political movement should go or what should happen. Yeah, right. So, and he decided to stay with the fogies because he was afraid. He was probably afraid to alienate his long-standing fucking real-time audience by adopting, some of the politics of the younger generation. But I guarantee you it was a totally cold and calculated maneuver. And look where it landed him, dude. Sitting across from fucking Kid Rock, having a serious political discussion and letting Kid Rock pwn you, letting him sneak by. Like you were a guy that advocated for Barack Obama and you can't pipe up and say, Obama didn't start any wars, dipshit. You know what I mean? Like,
no, he's a jobber, dude.
Yep. You're absolutely right. That's a perfect way of putting it. He's a jobber now. They bring these fucking conservative celebrities on to dunk all over Bill Maher, and he just lets them get away with it. He's Mr. Snark and shit, dude. You go back and watch his old Bill Maher and shit. He wouldn't let that shit fucking fly back in the 90s and early 2000s, but for some reason, he's here getting steamrolled by literally, like, look at fucking Kid Rock, bro. He's wearing mom jeans. For fuck's sake. He's literally wearing, dude.
He's dunking on him, dude. He's dunking on him. Let's play some more.
Let's hear it.
That's weird.
He was not wrong about NATO should pay more of the freight for their defense.
Made people pay their fair share.
But okay. So let's not go into the minutiae of his policy.
Made people pay their fair share.
You don't get to take a jab without letting me jab back.
What was the jab?
No, I'm saying I thought.
Oh my God!
You don't get the jab that I get my jab back.
See, look, but like I'll give Kid Rock this. He's got his game face on. He's like, I'm here to have a political disagreement with you. That's not how Bill Maher is selling this. He's like, oh wait, were you under the impression I was going to disagree with you tonight? No. I'm here to help you suck Trump's cock. I'm here to help you advance social conservatism. Like, don't you know? Haven't you watched a real time? Yeah, Kid Rock is from the 90s, so he probably assumes that this is like 90s Bill Maher he's sitting across from. Because I guarantee you Kid Rock ain't watching Bill Maher's show. So he probably doesn't know that Bill Maher is this new fucking conserva-cuck Bill Maher. Sitting there smoking a fucking cigar and shit.
Yeah, I'm just like you guys, remember?
Yeah, look at me. I'm basically Rush Limbaugh now with Oliver People's glasses on.
I mean, look.
You're going to go there.
Oh.
I'm fine with having like a cordial discussion or disagreement. He doesn't have to be an asshole about it, but just to like in 1 minute to just fucking basically just lay down and just be like, yeah, that's fine. Like I can't imagine. I couldn't fathom Bill Maher 15 years ago doing this. He would basically be going full fucking throttle at Kid Rock.
Dude, he would have had Kid Rock's dumb ass for breakfast 15, 20 years ago.
Oh,
like
easily.
this would there was no way he would have been sharp as a fucking thumbtack. There's no way he's gonna let this fucking long-haired reverse hippie get one over on him. Like, Trump is the only president in modern history that didn't start a war.
Bill Maher, blah, 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 kid, blah, blah. Watch how much he stumbles. Let's play this.
You're like, let me just say one last thing. Fuck
I mean,
Donald
it's
Trump.
all out there, you know.
I know, right? I know where you stand.
Is everything wrong with a human being stuffed into one man?
I disagree.
I know.
Yeah, that's as far as you'll go in criticizing him, is fucking making a joke. Like
That's
making
conservative criticism, though. If we're being honest, like most people, even the support Trump, they would always say, well, I don't like him for his personality. I like him for the policies. I like him for the things he's going to do for us. He's going to run the country like a business. But personally, I think Trump says some bad, naughty things. He says bad things. So, like, that's not even something that a lot of conservatives actually disagree with. He's basically making what I would say is a conservative criticism of Trump, not an actual progressive criticism of Trump.
He's the greatest friend you could have, and he's the guy you want on the front lines.
Okay,
if you
but
have to fight.
friend is different than how he runs the job. But okay, we're never going to agree, and that's okay. Okay, because that's what we're. If we have any message here on this PSA we're making for
Let's
America,
go, Brandon.
It's.
yeah. Let's
Kid
go,
Rock
Brandon.
wins. Kid
I'm
Rock
laughing
wins.
at conservative memes on my podcast.
I'm watching Kid Rock hit the fucking button combo and Bill Maher just go down like a ton of fucking bricks as he just rips his heart out like Kid Rock wins.
He let Kid Rock skate by with Donald Trump as the greatest friend you could ever have. Dude, I would call him on that fucking immediately.
And let's go, Brandon.
Like what, dude? Because from everything we know, Donald Trump's fucking friendships are entirely transactional. If you're fucking sucking his dick and you're not hurting him in any way, he's happy with you. As soon as you fucking don't toe the line one day, as soon as you disagree with him once or make him look bad once, he dumps you like a sack of fucking potatoes, dude. You just don't have to do anything other than be a hillbilly. You know what I mean? He's not going to get tired of exploiting your ability to talk to the hillbillies who he needs to vote for him.
I don't know if this is true, but this is interesting. Read the comments on some of his videos. I saw conservatives praising Bill Maher, saying they like him now. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, why wouldn't they? He's basically,
he's
he's basically like a, I'm a soft conservative now.
You remember,
I left the left guy. He's on that trajectory. He's on the left trajectory.
You know what he is, dude? He's like the paid off. It's like Handy and Comb. You know, remember when they did that shit where it's like the weak fucking milk toast, just bland fucking liberal, like, oh well, okay.
Yeah, Comb was just there to like sheepishly nod and shrug his shoulders while Hannity said absurd fucking things and justified absurd policies. And that's what Bill Maher has become. But you know what? He doesn't even have somebody with the political mind and acumen of fucking Hannity sitting across from him. He's got like the dregs, dude.
He does.
Fucking Kid Rock and Ben Shapiro are the people that you're having to fucking bow down and take one in the ass from because you don't know how to be a leftist, you big fat pussy.
I mean, look at this Kris Jenner. Now, Weird Al, I like. I mean, I would be down to doing a fucking podcast with Weird Al myself. But no, Kid Rock, Kris Jenner, not interested at all. I don't care how fucking famous they are.
I'm not going to let fucking Bill Maher get away with it, dude. I'm not going to let him do his like I left the left arc that he's clearly building to. I kick you out of the left, bitch.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're progressive this way.
Yep. We don't want you no more, motherfucker. How do you like it now? Enjoy sitting in a fucking shitty, dingy set with fucking the world's biggest moron sitting across from you and having to pretend like he's insightful and correct about Donald Trump. Enjoy the fucking career arc you've chosen because you don't want to call a trans woman she, her. You know what I mean? You don't want to stop fucking referring to everything as faggoty. You want to just live like the 90s never ended. So, hey, now you get it. Yeah, look, that's exactly what he's doing. Kid Rock hasn't been a real fucking thing since the 90s. Look at him. It's just like, man, I'm
if we're generous, maybe the early 2000s. If we're real generous.
Yeah, I kick this bitch out of the left. Yeah, I take your left card. It's gone, man. You better hope the conservatives. Yeah, dude, enjoy joining that fucking team, you moron.
Indeed. Well, that's what I got for you guys tonight. And I got a grease trap coming up in a few minutes. Yeah, me and Paul are probably gonna take a little break. But if you guys are not patrons, you want to see us shoot the shit, talk about some fucking shit. You never know what's gonna happen in the grease trap. You never know.
Yep.
That's coming up next over on our Patreon. And yeah, probably be over there in about 10 minutes, guys.
We'll see you there. Have a good one. Good night.